Just do what you want to do. Learn the technique, master your own recipe. Oh, that's gonna be good.
Holy shit.
Whoa. Guys, 4 sandwiches. 5 sandwiches, sorry, I'm eating 1. Well worth it. Much cheaper than actually going out. It's gonna be awesome. Just stick with me. Oh, you guys are gonna either love me or yell at me for this one. I've spent over 35 years working in professional kitchens, and I've learned what it takes to get people to love food and what people buy. And it's not salads. Today I'm gonna take an Austin favorite, at least one of my favorites that I find here in Austin, but I'm gonna make a purist version, and then I'm also gonna do a super dirty, guilty pleasure version. Cast iron pan. And as you can tell, I'm learning how to work with this stove against the wall. Not my ideal situation, I gotta come up with that. But I think it's better than that induction. If you saw that video a couple of videos back. Why are you not working? All right, you guys, induction. So I have some portobello mushrooms here, and I am just gonna be cooking these with just a touch of oil. You don't even need a lot. I just want a little bit on there, and I'm gonna get a cover. Derek, you're an idiot. Hold on one second. Stop, cut that. All right, so once this pan starts heating up, I'm gonna be using portobello mushrooms. So we're gonna be recreating this big, bad breakfast sandwich that I get at a local spot called Mission Burger, which is amazing. It's got double cheeseburgers, chicken burgers, you know, all plant-based. And their big bad breakfast sandwich, I love to have any time of the day, and they sell it all day long. For the whole foodie version, more in purist style, I'm gonna be using portobello mushrooms. A little bit of oil on the bottom. You don't have to add oil if you don't want, but I want as much indulgent, kind of fatty, because when I eat a breakfast sausage, I expect there to be fat, but you do not have to add oil. So what I'm gonna do is just sear these. I want to make sure that they're done properly as far as like getting them to a point where they're soft, pliable, and juicy and wet, because seasoning will stick to that. Seasoning will not stick to these dry mushrooms like this. A little bit of water. And I'm just gonna steam that quickly. All right, so it only takes a couple minutes to get these done. As you can see, that steam really does help a lot. I'm just gonna give them a quick flip. I wanna get these prepped up so I can use them as in a marinade and really drive some flavor in this. Once that water evaporates, I'll add a little bit more water. I'd like to see the steam coming out right here, which is beautiful. Once the bubbling goes down, then you know it's pretty much done. Nice. These ones are done. Just gonna put them into this state where we can season them. Guys, I buy like huge things of plastic wrap. It just reminds me of the time in the kitchen. And I just like to do a quick wrap. All right, so by wrapping it in plastic, it helps steam itself carry over cooking. It just draws it out a little bit longer. So I'm just gonna set this aside, and we're gonna make the seasoning, because I want as authentic and as delicious as possible, like a breakfast style sausage. I'm just gonna make my own seasonings, and that's how we're gonna season this. So I always was taught to put a towel underneath. It helps lessen the banging. And I have 3 mushrooms, so I'm just gonna eye this. So I'm adding about half a teaspoon of fennel seeds. This is optional, but it's not optional for me. This is chili flakes. And I have about a 1/4 teaspoon chili flakes. I have some granulated garlic, and I'm just gonna add just a sprinkle here, probably half a teaspoon. Some granulated onion, and I'm gonna do another half a teaspoon of that. Probably a 1/4 teaspoon of smoked paprika. I don't have any whole peppercorns. They're stuck in this machine, so I'm gonna just grind some black peppercorns right into it. Add as much or as little as you like. I love black pepper, so a 1/4 teaspoon of dried thyme, maybe a pinch more than that. Thing about dried thyme that I do not like is most all of it has this odd, like almost moldy flavor when you dry it. So fresh is definitely better if you can do fresh. I'm gonna add a couple white peppercorns. And this is just a pinch of coriander seed. And then I'm just gonna grind it. And this, I just wanna get them as ground as possible. So this is what it looks like. And it smells delicious. Just gonna unwrap portobellos. There's a little bit of liquid in here. I'm just gonna drain that off. You don't have to use oil if you don't want it for this, but I am gonna add a little bit of olive oil because I want the fattiness. And then I'm just gonna add the spices, all of them. First, we're gonna sprinkle it on both sides, just to make sure I'm getting it. All right, so I got some maple syrup. I got this in a squeeze bottle because it's supposed to go in the van with me, but I'm trying to use up that stuff while I figure out what's going on with Gary and myself. So probably about a teaspoon of maple syrup, just for that added sweetness, and it's gonna help balance out this next item we put in, which is salt. I'm just gonna add a pinch of salt. And we can always salt it more, but I want a little bit of that marinade. I want it to penetrate into the mushrooms. And then I'm just gonna rub these in. Because I think breakfast sausage should be a little bit spicy, and the ones I have usually are. I'm just gonna add some more chili peppers for me. You do not have to do this. I want that nice little bite. If you want, you can make a whole bunch of this and just have them marinated, and just so when you get home from work, just pop them on. Because it's so hot in Texas. You know, a lot of people have messaged me and want me to make things that are budget friendly, which I totally understand, and I try to do my best, but I'm also searching for the best flavors that I can possibly make. One of the easy solutions is iced coffee at home. I just make an extra large pot in the morning and then have this instead of going out for coffee like I used to. I'm sick of paying $7 for a freaking iced coffee. And it's delicious. Cold, perfect for Texas. Next up's tofu, 454 grams. Just gonna dump the water. Always squeezing as much water as I can get out of it. And I always say this, I'm just not into the gadgets, the tofu presses. It just takes too long. It's easy to just use your two hands. I like this particular block because of how thick it is. It's so thick. Of course, Frankie smells the tofu. I can get 4 slices out of this. 1, 2, 3, 4. Just gonna trim this down. And I'll take this towel, clean, and I'm just gonna put these tofus on here. Try not to break them. This is just regular firm. It's not extra firm. I buy the regular firm because I want the consistency of eggs. I don't want it too firm. So when I know I'm gonna make this, it's when I just buy the regular firm, or, you know, it's just softer, more like eggs. And I'll just wrap it up like this. Come here. Oh, see? Good girl. Oh, good girl. Want another one? Oh, good girl. Oh, yeah, good girl. One more. One more. Oh, good girl. Good girl, Frankie. Eggy tofu. A little bit of smoked paprika. Just a pinch, probably a half teaspoon. A little bit of turmeric, maybe half a teaspoon. A little bit of onion granulated. And then I have black salt here. And this black salt keeps clumping up on me, so I don't want to waste it. So I just add the clumps right to it. That's why I'm using the pestle and mortar. And it's probably gonna be half a teaspoon. Black cracked pepper. So you get the cracked black pepper, which is like fresh, and it'll tick a lot of boxes for me, but I also like adding a little bit of powdered black pepper, so about a half a teaspoon. And then I don't need any salt because we have the black salt. I'm just gonna use this to pound down that black salt. And just add that right in there. I am gonna add some nutritional yeast. It comes with this little scoop. Now a lot of people ask where I get nutritional yeast. I buy it online in bulk. It's so much cheaper than buying it in the stores for $7, $8 for those stupid little canisters they sell. Whereas they sell like a 2-pound container. it just works out much better online. So 2 of these little scoops, probably like 2 tablespoons. Boom. And we have a nice eggy tofu seasoning. Beautiful. Smells great. And I just got 1 russet potato. It's the starchiest. It makes the best for hash browns. Always cleaning up as I go. Potatoes. That's 1 potato. This is a lot. I love it. Super value for the money. 1 teaspoon of cornstarch. It just helps soak up the liquid. For seasoning, you can season these however you like, and I kind of want it more potatoey than anything, but I want a slight season. So I'm gonna add a little bit of onion granulated here, just a light dusting, a little bit of garlic, just a light dusting, maybe like a half a teaspoon of each. Black pepper and a pinch of salt, maybe 2 pinches of salt. And then this, I'm just gonna mix up. I have an audience here, live studio audience. Care Bear and Frankster. Gary is excited with the song. All right, so I'm gonna add a little bit of oil. I want to coat the bottom of the pan. Perfect. I'm gonna lower the heat down to a medium low and add a little bit of oil to the edge. Until it'll start to cling together a little bit. It's not quite done yet, but it's getting there. Just wanna slowly start to make sure it's separating from the pan. There. Now I can get it wiggling a little bit. I might add a little bit more oil. And those crispy edges that I love so much about hash browns. And don't be scared, if you want to add more oil, add more oil. Now I just add it to the edges here, and then it just seeps in. And every hash brown I've ever had is usually deep fried or fried in a pan with a healthy amount of oil, so this is very little, and I do not feel bad about it at all. And it tastes delicious. While I'm here, I'm going to turn on this oven because we're going to finish everything in the oven. In a 350 convection. Hopefully this plate will fix. I'm just going to have a look, see underneath what we're looking at. Yeah, it's looking great. So it's all stuck together well. You can see it all moves in uniform. It's all one piece. So I just have a plate, and this is where you're going to be a little bit careful. So I add the plate to this. Make sure you have a super dry towel. Sometimes I'll use 2 because you do not want to mess with this. And then I just flip it over. Ooh. And there. Just like that. Look at how beautiful that is. A little bit more oil on the pan. And then I slide this back on to get the other side. And before I start jiggling it around, I'm going to let it heat up. So I'm just going to check again underneath it. Just make sure it's not sticking. And I'm really just looking forward to browning both sides. I want it at least 3/4 to mostly done. Watch the towel because I always tend to burn the towels. And then it's all going to go in the oven afterwards. This is part of Gary's carnage. Tore the beak off of Frankie's chicken. That also symbolizes when I have a potty mouth. And then he took the eye from the alligator or frog, whatever you want to call this. Looking good, feeling good. It's been a couple minutes. I am just going to transfer this here. Perfect. All right, so for the tofu, it's still in this towel, nice and dried up. Beautiful. And just try not to break it because you don't want them broken. I want whole sandwich pieces. So you can use oil, but I like to use plant-based butter for this, and I'm probably going to use, 1 tablespoon. I just like the buttery flavor for breakfast. I'm just gonna salt the pan just a little bit, not too much. Always lay away from you so it doesn't splatter. Oven's ready. I'm just gonna pop this in to heat this up because it'll take the longest. Form that nice skin on the bottom. It'll create a nice snap and a great texture. And I'm just gonna add the seasoning right to the top of each one. Pretty good amount. And then I'm gonna pull this potato out. And one thing I love about this recipe is you can just have all this prep done ahead of time. So we can have the eggy tofu done. I'm just doing a quick sear of the seasoning so it's not so raw. Heat's off. One. All right, so next up, I'm gonna do the mushrooms. They've been marinating since we started this project and they are full of flavor. Just gonna add these right to it. And I don't want to waste any of this. And I'm just looking for a nice sear. I want that griddle flavor. This marinade is delicious. So good. And I'm just gonna flip each side, maybe a minute on each side, just to give a nice sear. Always flip away. You can see that nice crusting. Perfect. Beautiful. I just want that sear. So I have some plant-based American style cheese right here. Whatever kind you like. I like sometimes using the smoked, but just one piece on each of the tofus. Carrie? Good boys, good girls. Off with the heat. And then the mushrooms. I want all that seasoning. These look fantastic. Just gonna put them on here. And that's it. Rinse out this pan. I always do this while the pan's hot. Everything comes off super easy while it's hot. And if it doesn't, like there's a little bit on there, that's it. If I need to, I'll do once around like this. But I want you to be careful if you do that. And then season it right away. Always a little bit of oil. Paper towel. Always a dry towel, you guys. Safety first. Done, done. Look at that. Done. Ready for the next time. I have some nice soft squishy buns. Whatever brand you like, I just get whatever ones that don't have any animal products in them. Whatever you guys like. Just do what you want to do. This is how I'm just showing it. Learn the technique, master your own recipe. And this is how it was done in restaurants, and this is how I'm going to do it in the house. People are like, how do you get such restaurant quality? Well, you do it like we do in the restaurants. They're not shy on the butter. All right, so what I'm gonna do, this is all prepped up. So I'm just gonna pop this in the oven. We're gonna griddle these buns. I'm gonna make the sauce, and we're gonna put this first one together. So I'm gonna use about a cup of plant-based mayo. I'm gonna use my favorite, sriracha. And it's just sriracha and mayo. I like it spicy, so you can make it however you want. And if you want, you can just add barbecue sauce, a little bit of mayo. You can do whatever sauce you want. Oh, that's gonna be good. And now while I wait, I'm just gonna add this to the refrigerator. Just gonna sear off the buns. As many as I can at a time. And every time that's going, or anything, I'm always wiping up around. Always, always. It's just a great habit to be in. And I'm always just careful picking them up. That's perfect. See that? Golden brown. So I have potato. The only thing I want to do with this potato for now, move these a little bit. Try to do this for show. This isn't how I would do it in the restaurant. And I'm just gonna cut these for the bun. So let's see, one. This is gonna be extra, extra, extra plenty. That's okay if I have extra of these. About the size of the bun. Boom, boom, extra. A little bit of the sauce. We're just gonna build sauce, potato, tofu, mushroom, and then sauce. Boom. So this is definitely the more complicated one. As you can see, there's a little bit more steps. The next one, much easier. All right, so good. Really, that sausage flavor is really coming through. And the sear on the pan, I wanted that griddle flavor and I got it. That's the one difference about cooking. If you want to do healthier and just in the oven, totally fine, but you're going to lose that griddle flavor. And I'm all about just keeping things the way I remember them. And that's the only way I feel like I'm going to help change anybody who wants to eat something that isn't meat that they're used to eating more plant-based. Is to just replicate the technique, the flavors that you build upon, exactly like we're doing. Tofu just tastes perfect. The texture of all three, and the potatoes, the little snap of the skin on the tofu, it's delicious. So you guys, for storage, I'm just gonna take a couple of these. I'd let them cool down a little bit before wrapping them, but I would just pop this in the fridge on the engine manifold. When I used to lobster fish way back in the day, I would just pop this on the engine manifold for a couple hours and it would heat right up. Or just pop it in the oven, 300 degrees, 15, 20 minutes. Breakfast, second breakfast, lunch, second lunch, third lunch, dinner time. All right, it's the next day. We're gonna get started on this next one. The one that I feel like people are probably gonna yell at me because I'm gonna be using products that some people think are controversial. But you know what? For me, they're items that make it so easy to eat plant-based. And on a scale, my scale, anything that isn't an animal product is already winning. Now I gotta have some coffee because it is pretty early this morning. All right, I like to get everything set up. A little parchment paper, easy cleanup. All right, so for the sausage, I just like to get my hands a little wet because it helps things from sticking. And I'm just gonna form, just quickly, some of these sausage patties. Pretty thin, but big enough to fit in the bun. And they don't have to be perfect. Boom. As long as I can get 3 or 4 or 5 of these, I'll be psyched. Quick wash of the hands. While I'm over here, I just washed the bowl as well. Because why not? Why wait? Clean as you go. All right, so we have the sausage patties. That's ready, set aside. And we're gonna get this hot. Add a little bit of oil, not too much, just to coat the bottom of the pan. All right, guys, one of the best things I've found, at least value for money, and I think they were like, it was definitely less than like between $4 and $5, but for a ton of these hash browns that are definitely restaurant quality, amazing. And I'm gonna be using these for this sandwich. We made the other one yesterday, we're gonna use this right now. And I just wanna cook these off and have them. I'm gonna have everything prepped, so we're just gonna be able to assemble. It smells delicious, it smells great. And I'm just gonna sear both sides. I just wanna make sure they're not sticking too much. I can see the oil coming off of them, which is nice. It reminds me of the way we used to cook breakfast sausages at the restaurant. All right, so these are getting brown on the edge, so I'm gonna flip them. Nice, look at that, it's just gorgeous. Beautiful. I'm hoping not to set the alarm off today. It's always a goal of mine during a day when I wake up in the morning. I'm like, when am I gonna set the alarm off today? Hi, Gary. All right, so these are done. Just line them up on the pan. I'm not gonna waste this oil. And this is how I have to do, you know, when I used to cook bacon and breakfast sausage anyways, I used to just use the same oil to fry the eggs or do whatever. Why should I have to do anything different? I want that flavor. It's gonna go right with the hash browns. All right, so I turned off that heat. I'm just gonna turn it back on now. I'm gonna use a little bit lower heat. And so now we'll add the hash browns. I will add a little bit more oil because the hash browns are gonna need some oil. I wanna scrape up some of the stuff on the pan. Just a little bit so it's not sticking. And it's okay, I want those crispy bits. If there's some bits that are a little burnt, I might take them up like this and just toss these in the sink here. These hash browns, look at how perfect they are. They're just amazing. And they come like this, frozen. So always place down so it flips in front of you, so it's not splattering onto you. I'm trying not to touch edges if I can. Oven, convection, 325 convection. That should work fine to reheat things. Just look at those. Those are just like any good quality restaurant would have. Now you can see the oil's already disappeared. So you know these are kind of soaking them up, which I expect. I just expect that. You know what? This isn't a healthy version. This is the indulgent, guilty, dirty, filthy. I do not want to lose the enjoyment of food just because I don't want to eat animals. I'd rather just worry about my own health than killing an animal. So I am going to add a little bit more oil because I want that on the bottom for these. And just flipping them over. Nice. Look at that nice color. You know that's tons of flavor. You got that sausage flavor right in there. Delicious. I'm going to move this to the side because the heat on this, it's not an induction, it goes to the side. So I'm always conscious of that. I'm used to that. It's the inductions I'm not used to. Just want to get those crispy on the edges. They're going to be cooked through. I think it cooked through on that first side. Then I'm just going to transfer. All right, so these are the buns I'm going to use, and I bought them because it says no high fructose corn syrup, and they are just naturally vegan. They were on sale. I bought them because they're soft, squishy, and they remind me of a restaurant. I'm not going to compromise on the way I want to eat because a couple people don't like this process. Look, I buy whole wheat when I can, but this is just full indulgent, and I need 5 of them, and these are going to be great. So we're going to butter them quick, and I'm going to use that same oil that we have in the pan over there. All right, so I'm going to use Earth Balance today. It's easy to spread, and I'm just going to do just a quick swipe, a little bit of butter on there. This is how they do it in the restaurants, you guys. There's no kidding around. I'm not trying to fool anybody with making something be healthier than that. I know this isn't healthy. I know it. But I also know it tastes freaking amazing. Crank that up just to keep them warm. And then right on, right with all the fat from the sausage and fat from the potato, the hash brown. We're just gonna get this stuff ready. It's gonna be awesome. It only takes a minute, and look at that. It's exactly what I want, that color. Ooh, these are hot. Maybe use a spatula. For the sauce, I'm gonna use a local hot sauce company that a friend of mine owns. I'm not being paid by these guys. But they have some of the most amazing sauce. To be corny, it just warms my heart that it's supporting like farmers, real farmers from the get-go. So I have 5 of these, and I don't mind if I have extra sauce. So it's probably like half a cup, almost a cup of vegan, plant-based mayonnaise. These sauces, Good Burn Sauce Company. My friend Matt owns it. Super nice guy. Like I was just chatting with him last night. I was super psyched that he brought over the new ones. Now I'm used to having this one, and this is the one we're gonna use. But there's like this Scotch bonnet sauce, this one, scorpion sauce with San Marzano peppers, the arbol. They're just super delicious, and I'm just gonna add a fair amount. There's a good amount of mayo in there. I want that flavor. This isn't overly spicy, it's spicy, but I want that, and I like that. I'm gonna use some cheese on this, and you know, already who's here. I'll give you one guess. Her name starts with F.
Sit. Where's your other one? Where's your brother?
Oh, Gary. You ready? One. Gentle. Good boy.
Frankie?
Good girl. I'm gonna do the egg. I'm gonna be using this just egg. I'm gonna heat up the stove. Perfect. And I'm just gonna add the plant-based butter right to it. Get that around. Now this thing says add 3 tablespoons per egg. I'm just gonna wing it. So we got 5 sandwiches. And I want it kind of fluffy. So I know it'll shrink down a little bit. You know what? I'm just gonna add the whole box. Why not? These were regular scrambled eggs. I'd season it with a little bit of salt and pepper, and I'm just gonna do the same thing. A little bit of salt and pepper on the top. And then for this, I'm gonna cover it because I want to steam it a little bit. Now again, guys, I only have cooked with this like 1 or 2 other times because they didn't have this in England. So I'm just playing with it now. And I know that Mission Burger does an amazing job because that sandwich is one of my favorite sandwiches that I eat all the time. So I just want to come as close as I can to making that. Even if I don't have a 1 solid piece, I'll have some good scramble out of it. The oven is on. I'm gonna pop these in the oven. It's looking good. Pretty impressed with how it reacts. I mean, it looks like a nice egg. It's fluffing up nice. Let's see how it does when I scramble it. And I'm just gonna, oh, see, I know it's starting to stick, but that's okay. Oh, there we go. There we go, Derek. Pulling it away from the sides. Rather than flipping it, I'm gonna pop this in the oven too to finish it off. So I'm gonna put the cheese on this right now, cover it quickly, back in the oven for 2 minutes because I want that melty part. I wanna ensure that it looks soup and tastes super melty. All right, this looks freaking amazing. Look at that. Tomato, sausage. Oh God, this looks freaking amazing. That sauce. Beautiful. Holy shit. Whoa. Look, guys. This is delicious. And if I'd have to rate them both side by each, I mean, this, I feel like it's a lot more fatty. It's got the Impossible on it. It's got the just egg, whatever you're calling it. It's got that hash brown. It's got that hot sauce. It's just so freaking delicious. Holy crap. One more bite and I'll finish this up. Oh, this is like, honestly, over the top. So you guys, Mission Burger, if you're in Austin, Texas, give them a try. Check them out. They do all the Uber Eats, all that delivery stuff too. And if you don't get a chance to go and you don't live in Austin, make either one of these versions. Make both. The Whole Foods one, yes, it's definitely going to be healthier. It's not as processed. But this, if you want to eat like you've gone out to a fast food, delicious, mouth-watering restaurant that you know gets people addicted to food, like this is it. This is what people love. Whether we like it or not all the time, and I'm gonna be honest with you, I love it. I just don't eat it all the time. But this is something I will have on a rotation because it's so freaking good. And if you like this video, you guys, which I hope you do, check out these videos over here. And I got a lot more coming up. Great seeing you again.